guys, so I am back with another story time. So if you guys have seen my other hair salon horror story video, I'm sure you guys would have known that I don't have the best luck with hair salons. I don't know what it is, but I just keep going to really weird ones, or they keep ripping me off, or they're like super weird and mean. And so of course I have another story time for you about it. This one took place a couple years ago. I was recently looking up hairstylists because I want to dye the ends of my hair, and I can't get myself to do it because I'm like really nervous about hairstylists. And this story, like, this wasn't even the most recent crazy interaction I've had with a hairstylist, so I will get into that in another video. But this one I was just thinking about the other day, and I said I have to make a video on this because it's so ridiculous. Okay, so here we go. Another one of these. Okay, so first off, I had all my hair bleached already at this point. So my hair, I think it was fading already from the pink. I think it was starting to be like an orangey, blonde, white type of thing. So I was like, well, I really just want to get it like lightened again and then put like, you know, another color on it. And I remember that I had really wanted lavender at this point, because I am very into pastels, and I was like, well, I've done pastel pink, I might as well do like a pastel purple, so lavender it is. And I wanted lavender on my whole head. So I went on Yelp again. I don't know why I keep using Yelp, like it's a good service, but I don't know what it is with hairstylists. Anyway, so I found one that had really good reviews, and I saw like all the reviews, they were really phenomenal. They were like, this person's amazing, thank you so much, you changed my life, you changed my hair, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give them a chance because it seems like people enjoy their work. So first off, I don't book an appointment right away. I book a consultation because I do not trust anybody lightening my hair anymore. Darkening it is fine because this part isn't really black anymore, so I would get this part kind of dyed to look more like black or dark brown. Anyway, so that is fine, but like lightening, I'm like, So I book a consultation, and the day of the appointment arrives, so I go to the salon. And this salon is located in like the artsy part of town, like the fancy slash artsy, more artsy than fancy, but the artsy part of town. So I'm like, okay, they have a really nice atmosphere, it seems like, from the pictures on Yelp, and it's in like the artsy part of town, so let's see what happens. So I go and I park, and I walk in, and this place is so beautiful, you guys. It was like just like the pictures, and it was amazing. I was just like, what? This place is beautiful. And usually when they give such a good first impression, you think like, okay, well, maybe they're really successful because a lot of their customers are happy and they can afford this because they do a good job, you know? That's kind of like what I usually think of that type of stuff. So I go to the receptionist, and she's like, oh, okay, so let me get you checked in for your appointment, and let me go ahead and get you something. Do you want like a water or a coffee? And I think that's like the fanciest thing when people offer you like water or coffee. I'm just like, oh, that's amazing. So then I am like waiting, and then the receptionist, she goes back and gets like the assistant of the stylist, I guess. So then the assistant like takes me over to their station, and they're like, okay, so what are you kind of looking for? What do you want to do? What have you had done to your hair already? Just like basic things, which is like normal, you know, whenever you go and get your hair dyed, you're like, I've done this, I don't like this, but I do like this, you know, like you talk about what your goals are with your hair. So I told them like everything of my hair history. So this was before the really crazy lady had like fried off all my hair, so my hair wasn't in bad condition at all. It was like fine. It was bleached a little dry because that happens sometimes, but overall it was in good shape, and it was to the length of my belly button, which was so long. I miss having that long hair. My hair right now doesn't reach that length because the lady fried it off in another hair salon incident. But anyway, at this point my hair was fine. It was really long and really strong. Like, people always told me my hair was strong despite the bleach. So the person looked at my hair, and they were like, oh yeah, okay. So I talked to them about how I wanted lavender hair and stuff, and they were like, oh cool, okay. Like, we got like a consensus of what we were gonna do. So then they went ahead and they got like their boss, I guess. And I guess they do like a 2-person color team or something. I don't really know. So they go and they get their boss, and then the boss is a lady, so she walks over to the station where I'm at, and I'm just like reading the magazine. And this lady, this lady just right off the bat was like not very happy that she had a potential client, I guess, because she just like got there and she started like rolling her eyes, giving me like a side eye type of thing, and it was just like super like what did I do to you? I am potentially earning you money, like you don't have to be so rude about that, you know? So the lady, she is like, okay, so what do you want? And I'm like, oh, well, I am trying to achieve like a light purple, like a lavender, and I want it from like the roots of my head to the very ends of it, and I am just looking for that, and that's pretty much it. And I'm trying to just make my whole hair purple, you know? So pretty simple explanation. So then she is like, okay, well, let me see. So then she does that thing, you know how hairstylists, I don't know why, but they like will take your hair and they'll go like, I don't know what that does. I don't know what that means. But she did that and she was like looking at my hair and stuff, and then she was like, okay, so we're gonna have to do like multiple rounds of like bleach baths and like shimmer whatevers and toner whatevers, and none of this was like English to me. This was all just like gibberish, because I was like, what is a bleach bath? What is this? What is that? Like, she wasn't telling me in terms that I understood. So I was like, what? I asked her like, oh, sorry, what does that mean? And then she was like if she thought that I was like an idiot because I didn't know specific hairstyling terms, which is like, lady, why are you doing this to me? And it turns out that like a bunch of the stuff she was talking about was just like a fancy way of saying it, like just for their particular salon or something, that she was like, that's just what we call it here, you know, like really weird. So it's like, well, if that's just what you call it there, then like, how did you expect me to know, you know, like, I don't know. Anyway, so she was telling me about all this stuff that she was gonna have to do in my head and stuff. And usually people have told me how long things take in like terms of kind of like rounds or like visits, like, okay, in order to do that we might have to do like 2 visits or 3 visits or 1 visit or like a couple hours, you know, things like that. But this lady was like, okay, so you're gonna have to do this round of this, and then you're gonna have to do this and this, and I think for the first time it's gonna be like $700. And I was like, huh? What? What do you mean, lady? What do you mean $700? And I mean, like, yeah, it costs more when you dye your hair and it's longer, but like $700, that has never ever happened to me. And it wasn't like really crazy, I think, because it was like already bleached. So I don't know if she just had to like bleach it again and then put the color on it. I don't know what it was exactly, but like most places do not charge $700 for that. And like, it was like a 1 visit thing, you know, because my hair was already like light, you know. So for that 1 visit, she was like, it's gonna be like $700, and I was just like, So then she pulls out the snarkiest remark, and she looks me dead in the eye, the girl with like hair all the way down to her belly button. She's like, and don't even bother booking your service unless you get a haircut. And I was like, okay. And I mean, yeah, normally people get haircuts after they dye their hair, like really light colors, because then it's like it chops off the dead ends and stuff like that. Like, I have done that before, but she was just like super weird about it. And then she also proceeded to tell me, she was like, and I refuse to work with you unless you cut your hair to here. And I was just like, what? What are you talking about, lady? Like, she literally like took her hand and put it right here on my neck, and I was just like, oh my god, this lady's a psychopath. Why would she do this to me? So yeah, it was really like weird. And then she just left. She just turned around and she left. Like, she didn't give me any other reasoning. Like, she never even told me why she wanted to cut it to literally like a pixie cut length. And she never talked about like, how would you feel about going shorter or anything. She was just like really like in your face about it. And so then she left, and then the assistant was like, okay, so you just need to go to the receptionist to check out, because I guess it's for like time management or something, I don't know, but I had to like tell her like, oh, I was done with my appointment. and it was like a free consultation anyway. And then the assistant also told me like, oh yeah, you can book an appointment with her while you're up there. And I was just like, ha! You think I'm gonna book an appointment with this lady? No! So then I got up from my chair, and I just remember it like the only way I can describe it is like, I was just like shook. Like I was just really like shocked. I was just like, So then I got up and I went to the receptionist, and she was like, okay, so you want to book your appointment for Thursday or like, you know, like 2 days later? And I was like, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. Sorry, I gotta think about it, you know. And then they were like, okay, well, our appointments kind of book up super quickly, so it's best if you do it now. And I was just thinking in my head, like, someone get me out of here. I don't want to be here. This is a terrible time. I don't want to do this. And then I responded to the lady. I was like, you know, I gotta think about it. Let me just get back to you on it, you know? And then the receptionist was like, oh, well, we book up pretty quickly, so, you know, just like do it as soon as you can, or you might have to wait like a month or so before like dyeing your hair. So then I was just like, oh, what a shame, you know, what a shame. So then I told her, I was like, no, I'm just gonna think about it. Like, everyone was nice except the main crazy lady. So then I get back into the car, just kind of like holding on for like, is this real life, you know? And then I look up on Yelp and I'm like, how does this place have so many like good reviews, like 5-star reviews, if this lady just told me that I have to cut off like probably 12 to 14 inches of hair, and she didn't even explain why, and that it would be $700 for one visit. And I was just like, no, like, no. So then I just drove home and kind of just didn't even look back, because I never called the place back. I never like followed up, because why would I? Like, that lady was so crazy. She was terrible. So yeah, that was what happened. I'm so glad that I had a consultation. Like, can you imagine if I had just like booked the appointment? That would have been a disaster, because she probably, what if she just like had cut my hair and like didn't even tell me? That would have been horrible. Can you imagine? I'm just like on my phone and then she goes, shh. I would cry. I would literally like have tears coming down from my face if she did that. And also, like, when you have your hair dyed and you have like as much hair as I do, it takes a while. So like, you have to be next to that person for a good chunk of time. Like, you're there and they're like right next to you dyeing your hair. So either you talk to them and you kind of become friends with them, or it's a little awkward. So I'm just so glad that I never had my hair dyed by that lady, even if she was like crazy and I had a terrible experience. The bright side is that she didn't like cut all my hair off, so there's that. Now you guys can see why I'm so hesitant with hairstylists. Like, it was so bad. Anyway, if you guys like this video and you want to hear about my other hair salon mishaps, because there are others, then let me know down in the comments. Also, if you want to keep up with me on my day-to-day basis, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Everything is at AmyCrouton. And if you guys want to support me on Patreon, there's a little button that you can click right there. It'll take you there. Also, if you're new here and you want to subscribe, you can click right there. And if you want to check out my other videos, you can click right there or right there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!